So obviously when I do my cycling, I do want to encourage little kids to start cycling, but obviously they have to do it safely. So when I'm doing a trick on my bike, I wear a helmet.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Prodigy Talks, and this time in 2021. Happy New Year to all. We missed out on the Prodigy Talks last week, and this is this year's first Prodigy Talks. And I have this wonderful, smiling, beautiful young lady there, Ruby Isaac from UK. Hi, Ruby. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thanks. So, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Very well. So, Ruby, I know I made you wait for a little long today, so apologies to all the viewers out there, and apologies to Ruby as well. So now we're back. We're back at our 1 o'clock Indian Standard Time schedule. And so, Ruby, tell us, where you're taking this call from, and tell us a little about yourself, please.
So I'm Ruby Isaac, and I'm 12 years old, and I really love cycling.
Lovely. And so, how long have you been cycling?
So I learned how to ride a bike when I was 7, and it was when I was watching Laura Kenny do the Olympics. And I had this Blossom bike and I could never ride it. And one day I went outside my grand's house and she was holding on to me. And then I said to her, "You holding on?" She goes, "No." And then I went to my first race and I just loved it and I wanted to carry on so much. And that's why I started cycling.
So your first race was when you were 7 itself, or were you older when you had your first race?
I think my first race was when I was about 8.
So where in the UK are you from, and just where are you taking this call from?
I'm from Northamptonshire in England.
I believe a lot of people know where it is. So yeah, and no, so I hope family and all are well in these raging pandemic times. All are well, I suppose.
Yeah, they're all well.
Very well. So you started cycling when you were 7, and then you sort of started competing when you were 8, and you've had some phenomenal feats ever since. I've been reading up on your profile, and so just tell us a little about the whole journey. How it's sort of do you have a mentor? What happened?
So when I did my first race when I was about 8, I enjoyed it. I wanted to continue doing more races. And then it might have been a year later when I did my first race, my dad bought me some tax rollers. And then I learnt to ride them and I started to do a few tricks on them. And then I think my first trick might have been learning to go no-handed. I can't quite remember. And then we posted on Instagram. And then from that trick, I started posting more. And then Specialized saw what I was doing. And then they kindly took me over to California. And I interviewed some amazing riders, and I also got to see the factory. And then my contract stopped with them, and then it must have been about a year later I went with Trek, and then they've been so supportive and amazing. And Trek is my mentor because loads of people from Trek are very supportive, and they give me advice on cycling and to keep carrying on.
Beautiful. So now, sometimes what happens is it takes somebody to find a talent in a young kid and then say, "Hey, you've got this, and maybe we should support it." And I'm glad most often it is the parents. That's what we get to see with the prodigies, yeah. And so dad and mom, are they cyclists themselves, or do they have a passion for cycling?
No, so I am actually the only cyclist in the family. I didn't get it off my mum and dad. I got it off watching Laura Kenny do the Olympics. So I'm really the only one.
So if I may, let me just, so you have siblings, if I can ask?
Yeah, I have one older brother. He's 16.
And does he have a passion for cycling by any chance?
Not really, no, but he does sometimes go out on his bike with his friends or something, but he doesn't enjoy cycling as much as I do. He just enjoys it for the fun.
Sure. I mean, you've taken enjoyment to an all new level there. So, so I've had the good fortune of talking to a lot of prodigies, and with the whole prodigy talks, and there's this tender age between. I've seen people starting as early as 4 and 5, and then all the way up to 10 and 12, right? And that's when we sort of categorize them as a young prodigy. Um, when they did see you and when they spotted you and they see you have the skill and you have got this natural talent, how did people react to your skill set? Did they say, hey, did they start bombarding you with suggestions, or did they just let you naturally grow? How did that work out for you?
Um, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I don't think I was like bombarded or anything. I think it was just natural. Yeah, I think it was natural. I didn't feel like I was bombarded with anything.
Well, I mean, the reason I ask is that we have a lot of young kids watching out there who keep getting suggestions, do this, oh, you're good at this, do that. And then with that sort of external pressure that comes in, some people just take, the affinity to do something as you take a step back after that. And then, right. So just going for your thing, the brand Specialized has sponsored you, right? Could you
Yeah.
just tell us a little about that sponsorship and what that's all about, please?
So so what they did for me, they took me over to California and they gave me this really nice custom bike. And they also let me go to their factory to meet some of them, and they were kind enough to let me interview some of their riders. So I interviewed Peter Sagan and loads of people like that. So that's what they did for me, and it was really nice that they gave me a. It was the most beautiful bike ever.
I'm sure. And so you are in school actively, I suppose, and you do cycle and you go on circuits and competitions and so forth. Are you able to find the balance? Not in the pandemic times, but generally when school's functioning and all is well and normal. Were you
So
able to balance
I
it?
I really enjoy school, and before I do any of my cycling, school has to come first. Because obviously, because I'm in senior school and in year 8, I get a lot more homework set than, so for a day I'd get 2 pieces set, and before I was going to do a trick, I'd put my school first because that is very important to me and I want to get good grades in school.
And which grade are you in? Which class are you in?
I'm in year 8, which I think is grade 9, I'm not too sure.
All right. So I've sort of been learning from all the prodigies around the world as to when I ask them which grade or class, and then they give me an explanation saying I'm in year 8 or year 9, but that means this, and I'm like, okay, all right. So must be year 8 must be like the eighth standard in India. So uh-huh. Well, it's really difficult keeping a track of the whole education system around the world, but it's good. So, and this is going to get an even more challenging school as such, because as you grow older, you're going to have more intense work, and you still intend to do both of it simultaneously. I suppose you're not going to come back to homeschooling.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, as I grow up and go through the years of school, I will always have that balance of before I do my cycling, I will try to get all my schoolwork done so I can obviously do well in school.
Lovely. And there's something that I see with a lot of the prodigies is most of them are homeschooled to give them the convenience of time. Have you ever considered homeschooling?
No, I've never looked into it all,
Okay.
and I really do like going to school.
You should. Yeah. Right. So if I can just go further, a little further into your school life as such, how do your friends react to you having all this fame and recognition that is coming with your skill set and talent? How do they react to all of this?
Well, a lot of them always look at my Instagram, and then when I like say I post a new trick, I go in school and they like say to me, oh, that trick you did was good. So they're very like proud of me in a way. So like they are supportive friends. They don't like take the mick out of me or anything. They're like, oh, well done for doing this. Congratulations on winning this award or whatever. So they're not mean about it. They're very nice and supportive.
Very good. And I think you would also inspire a lot of them to take up, sort of an active physical sport. I would be a bummer at cycling, I can tell you that. Tried it a few times and never got any better than what, and I don't know, just one of those things that didn't work for me. And yeah, just happy to pedal around or be driven around now. So the reason I asked is it's good to have a good support ecosystem from school to family to friends and well wishers and mentors and even brands, right? And that sort of plays a vital role in how you continue to keep the energy alive at this stage in your life. Um, can I ask, with fame also comes a great amount of responsibility to show that, hey, whatever you do out there, you've got to be safe, and nothing is worth a stunt and all of that. So is that something that you're cautious about? Are you aware of it, saying, hey, some kids are going to try this, but then they might not have the necessary skill sets you do? Are you conscious about it by any chance?
Yeah, so obviously when I do my cycling, I do want to encourage little kids to start cycling, but obviously they have to do it safely. So when I'm doing a trick on my bike, I wear a helmet. So if they were going to go, not do the trick, but try to learn it, that when they're on it, they'd have a helmet. So if they fall off, they're safer. So like, I love to inspire the kids, but I do it in a safe way. So if I was going to go on the road, they'd have to do it safely.
No, very well. So all you kids out there who's looking at this and saying, "Hey, I'm just going to get onto a cycle and randomly pull off a stunt," please, safety first. So Ruby, I see a lot of things. You have a YouTube channel that is pretty popular, right? And your Instagram handle is doing well. So who handles all of this for you?
So my parents handle all my socials. So they look after my Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and then when we go to post something, my dad says to me, what do you want? So say I took a picture with like a nice scenery behind me, my dad would say, what do you want like the caption to be? And I would say just like been out for a nice ride or whatever. So they control it, which I do like, to be honest.
No, I really think you need that support as well at this day and age. And I'm glad. So credit to your mom and dad for doing all that they are doing. It's very nice of them. Just tell us a little about the YouTube channel. How's it going for you?
So the YouTube channel is going good. So I think my videos are going well. Obviously, I do wish to make more.
Mhm.
But all, as I said, all I like to do is inspire kids. So I think one of my older videos I was doing, like it was when we were in lockdown and it was hard to go out on your bike. So I did an exercise video for kids so they could enjoy it. So like on my YouTube channel, I inspire them in many ways. So like I'd show, one of my videos was literally a minute showing how to start rollers on your own, like and I think little kids like that, so they can watch it and then teach themselves like how to do what I do. So I think my YouTube.
I love the fact that you're so young and you're saying you are looking out for the little kids. Well, it's good. We would, yeah, it's amazing. So just you were on Little Big Shots,
Yeah.
and somehow I have this good fortune of talking to prodigies who've been on Little Big Shots. I don't know. I think you're like the sixth or the seventh one. Something about, so you've been on Little Big Shots UK or Little Big Shots America?
I went on the American one.
Okay, and so you went on the American one, and that must have been something.
Well, it was amazing. I enjoyed it so much. And I would say one of my favorite things was probably meeting Steve Harvey, because he's so funny. And then what I did in there, like, he was doing a race almost, and he's just so funny because he's in the middle of a race and then Money comes along and he just gets off and picks it all up. So he's so funny, and it was just amazing being on there. So I enjoyed that a lot.
And I see that that's also given you a platform in terms of visibility, and a lot of good talent is spotted, and they do promote good talent, which is, kudos to them as well. So, and what I've been hearing from the other prodigies that I've had the good fortune of talking to, they somehow end up doing America and then they do UK after that. So have you thought about doing Little Big Shots UK? Have you been invited by any chance?
No, I haven't been invited, and I haven't really thought about it.
What are you
So
people doing out there? You should be inviting her for sure. Come on. All right. So Little Big Shots UK. Now, I see a lot of other things that, the World Bicycle Relief, they've recognized you. And
yeah,
there's just a whole lot of recognitions that have come your way. And but what I'd like to really know about is, where are you going with all of this in your life? Do you have a vision with cycling in your mind? Do you
yeah,
have some sort of a picture?
yeah. So I definitely want to continue with my cycling as I grow older, and what I want to do when I'm older is be a professional cyclist and do some races. But I also always have had this dream to go to the Olympics, and that's what I
Mhm.
really love to do. So I just want to keep doing cycling so that I can get to the Olympics. Yeah, so that's what I want to do in my cycling, just to keep growing and doing racing and maybe go to the
I
Olympics if that happens.
wish you all luck with that, and I will
Thank
certainly root for you at the Olympics. It's not very far away, and for the talent you have, you'll be hard to miss. So really, we wish you all luck with that. And
thank you.
how does it feel to be recognized as a prodigy, Ruby? Um,
Um, it feels I'm very proud of it because obviously I have been noticed one of the 100 kids
yeah,
with talent, and that's very important to me because if from this, if I just inspire one kid to maybe start cycling, that would be amazing because
that'll be me. Yeah.
it would be amazing because obviously that's what I like to do. I like to inspire people, and if this can just even inspire one little girl or boy, that would be amazing.
Lovely. No, I sincerely do. Because one thing is to be recognized as one of the 100 kids around the world from the number of applications we get, is something. And I think you are a phenomenal talent, not just because of the talent, because of the heart you have and how
Thank you.
you are looking to be a young ambassador of your sport. And you intend to not just look at it as the sport, but the overall well-being of a person who pursues it. So super, super proud of what you're doing. And I only pray and wish that this continues to grow for you and you continue to take the sport to more people. Right? Is there wonderful? And is there anything you'd like to tell all the kids out there and the parents who are watching the show right now? Is there anything you'd like to tell them?
Um, I just like to tell them that when you're doing cycling, just have fun. And if it gets tough, just keep trying and don't give up, because the more you try, you'll be able to do it. So just never give up and always have fun.
Words to live by in 2021, all of you. Words to live by. Just keep trying, stay calm, just keep at it. It'll come to you. So thanks a lot to you, Ruby, and thanks a lot to your parents for helping us with the time for you from your side. We wish you all luck and stay safe. And we know the UK, I mean, the pandemic has not been kind to UK. So we hope and
Yeah,
pray that all people around you are safe and well, and you get
thank
back to school as soon as possible to enjoy, meet your friends.
you.
And thanks for
Yes,
coming on the show.
that's
And to
okay.
all of you out there, this is the first talk of 2021, and couldn't have been more happier than this wonderful young lady here with with a beautiful smile. Do follow her on Instagram and do follow her on YouTube and Twitter. And if you have a young kid who's looking to pick up the sport, she is the person to follow. So check her out, and we will be back again tomorrow, and we'll have another host hosting the Prodigy Talks tomorrow as I'll be traveling. But I'll be back again next week hosting the Prodigy Talks and talking to these wonderful, wonderful prodigies. Until then, take care, all of you, and thanks a lot to you, Ruby, and see you all next week, everybody. Take care then. Bye-bye, everybody.